Hi everyone, so I thought I'd make a quick video to go along with this blog post that I've written about how I get along with cloth diapers and how you use them, and hopefully answer any questions you've got about them to help you make the decision about whether or not you'd want to use them when you have your baby, or if you already have your baby. I think I came to the decision when I was pregnant that I wanted to use them, but I had loads of questions, and I tried to research them loads, but I couldn't find a place that had all my questions answered in one place. They were all scattered about the internet. So I'm going to make this with a hope that this will answer all your questions. Mine were mainly poo related, how messy they were. I wanted to make sure that my partner, who's quite squeamish, would get along with them. And he gets along with them fine now. He really likes them. I think there are a lot of misconceptions when it comes to cloth nappies, and I think it's because they used to have the terry versions that you used to fold in a certain way and use a pin. But now they do these all-in-one systems, which look a lot like disposables. I'll show you them later and how I use them. And they're really, really easy to use. I know when I told my friends that I was going to use them, they sort of had the idea that cloth nappies were quite, they said hippie-ish, for people who like green peas. And even my mum was worried that she was like, she knows how lazy I am, and she did say, are you going to be able to deal with all this washing? And they're quite hard work, but they're not. Nowadays, they've made them very easy for you to use. Obviously, when I chose it, there was the environmental element that I liked. The idea that I wasn't filling up landfill with disposable nappies that take age to decompose, but also because the financial benefit, it was more to do with the amount of money that we'd save. Now, the initial outlay is obviously a lot more than it would be if you were just buying a pack of disposables. However, in the long term, it's most cost effective. We literally don't spend anything on nappies now. We buy the liners every now and then, possibly every 1.5 to 2 months. And that's that. And then obviously the cost of washing. But we haven't really seen our bill go up a huge amount. Obviously a little bit because we're washing every 2 to 3 days. But other than that, the money that it's saved us has been huge. Now, I spent, I think, about 227, I think it was, pounds, because it was in a kit in Mothercare. Now, they gave you, it was Bambino Mio Solo, all-in-ones, and they gave you 15 cloth nappies, a pack of liners, 2 packs of liners, I think, 3 booster pads that you put in at night. I'll explain all of these afterwards. 2 laundry bags, a bucket and a nappy bucket, which locks. So I won't show you it. It's got disgusting nappies in, but it locks so you keep the smell out. And then, they had some wipes in there too. So I know that's quite a lot, especially when you're saving for a new baby. So there's some other ways that you can do it. I know there's what they call, I think, cloth banks. So they lend them to you. So if you wanted to give them a try, you weren't sure how you were going to get on, you can borrow these. And if you find you get on with them, obviously, I think you give them back and you buy your own, or you give them back and decide, if you decide they're not for you. So there's not really a massive cost associated with that. Or you can buy them second hand. If you're wary of buying them second hand, then I would advise you can cloth strip. They call them stripping the cloth nappies. And there's loads of great ways on websites to do this. It basically sanitizes them and cleans them. But obviously you'll have the sanitizing powder. I think I mentioned that in the kit. You can get it pretty much from anywhere though. We now use Nappies, which they sell in Tesco's and Sainsbury's, and our local is Waitrose as well. And it just sanitizes. You put it in with the washing powder that you use, and then that sanitizes your nappies too. The other cost benefit of it, and this is down to the area that you live in. They don't do it in my area, but I know that they do it in certain others around the UK. That they will give you money if you use cloth diapers. The council gives you money to use them, because obviously you're not filling up their landfill with disposables. And I think it ranges between £10 and £20 that they give you a month, which obviously is not a huge amount, but it goes towards the electricity bill, or it can buy you some liners for the month. So that's a great idea too. So I think that's all that bit covered, and let me just show you the all-in-one systems now. This is, like I said, the Bambino Mio Solo all-in-one, but there are loads of companies that do all-in-one nappy systems too. I know Totspots is a favourite, and I've heard very good things about them. So obviously do your research and see what's more cost effective to you. This is in no way related to this nappy, it's just about the all-in-one systems in general, which has worked very well for us. So this is what they look like. Let me fold them up. So they work with Velcro, and they look like that, just like a disposable. And you adjust the size around the waist there, and then these little buttons. Now they're meant to use you from birth to potty training, and you just change the length of these buttons here and here and move them as they go along. Now we didn't use them with George when he was first born. He was too small to be put in cloth nappies. They just were a bit, and they were a bit big and chunky for him, and they were too big. Also, I think for the first few weeks using disposables was good for us because I was learning quite a lot anyway. I was learning about George, learning how to breastfeed, learning all to do these new things, these difficult things, and it was nice to just know how to put this nappy on and not have to think about anything else what to do with it yet, once I'd wrapped my head around everything else. So I'd probably advise you, if you were going to decide to use cloth nappies, maybe just get a few disposables to use, just in case he doesn't fit them, or in case you're not ready to use them yet. So that's great. So you have these liners that I was talking about. Now these are from Boots. They're absolutely massive, the Boots own brand. But if you want to be cost effective, and my favourite actually is Totspots. It's just they didn't have them in Boots at the time. And they do 2 rolls for the same amount as 1 pack of Boots, and they do last for ages. They actually feel a lot softer, so I like using them because they seem to agree with his skin a bit more. So you just pop them in like this, fold them up, and then do them up. And then once he's done his poo and he needs a change, you just open it up, and the poo should be in the middle. Now we haven't actually had any explosions. He's had explosive poos, but we haven't had any poos where it's fallen out the side or it's gone everywhere yet. He does have the occasional wee that leaks through if I've been naughty and haven't changed it quickly enough for him. But poos, no, they all stay within the line. The line seems to hold it really well, which is good. It seems to just like stick to it like glue, which is weird. And then I just pick it up and then chuck it in the toilet. Now these are flushable. I think all liners are flushable, which is great. So you don't have any smelly nappies or smelly liners taking up space in your bin. I don't know about you, but my bin stinks towards the end of the week anyway, and it's before bin day. So it's great not to have it in. I know you can get flushable wipes, which came in the kit, the flushable wipes. They were great, but they're not as readily available, so we don't really get them very often. And then that's that. So then you pop it in, you just push these 2 tabs down here to stop the Velcro from sticking to any other nappies, and then chuck it in the bin. You don't have to touch any poo or wee. You don't have to deal with it. It just goes inside this laundry bag that sits inside the bucket like these hook onto the end, these bits. Chuck it in, and then when it's full, pick it up in the laundry bag like that with all the nappies in and chuck it in the wash. Really easy. This is my favourite bit, I think, about using cloth nappies, and I'll swear that George sleeps longer through the night because of this. It's a booster pad. Now you can put it in on top if you want, but I insert them again into here, and it's just an extra pad that makes it more absorbent in the night. Now, these tend to last him up to 12 hours. He's got like his little poo routine down now, so he doesn't poo in the night. And these, so I can just keep this nappy on for 12 hours and it doesn't bother him. Now, he still wakes up in the night for a feed, but I used to find that when I was with the disposables, granted I only used them for about 6 weeks, but and I didn't have any nighttime disposables, because he was pooing left, right and centre anyway, but it would wake him up more if I had to change him at the same time. Hang on a minute. He is awake. I just need to go and get him. Oh! Hi, we're back with George. This is Georgie Porge. Look. There you go. Okay, so I think I was talking about... Oh, he's taking these. right here. There we go. So I do think that, I think I was saying that I used to wake him up more when I used to have to change him. So I do think now, not waking him up, just being able to feed him for like 10 minutes, because he's already half asleep as it is, and put him back down again, it's just made our lives so much easier. One of the questions I had when I was pregnant was about, are you eating your booster, Georgie? Was about when you were out and about, how you would change your nappies. Now this is actually really easy. I would just take the liner out, flush it down the toilet, wipe everything up, and then fold the nappy up and put it in one of the plastic disposable nappy bags that you get, and then just put it in a compartment in my changing bag, and then until I got back home. It was really easy to use, but it's not as if I'm carrying around like a smelly pooey nappy. When I got home, I'd just take it out of the bag and put it in the nappy bin. You don't even think twice about it, really. I know that cloth nappies aren't for everyone. I just would hate to think, if the reason I made this was because I would hate to think that someone would say that they'd like to use them, like to give them a try, they think they'd work out, but that they're too difficult to use. I think that's a misconception people have, and it's actually really easy to use. My partner gets along with it, I get along with it. I mean, I'm doing a PhD alongside having this little one, and it's very easy for me to use, and he's much happier because he doesn't get nappy rash or anything. So I hope I've answered all your questions. If you have any more, you can write to me underneath here, and I'll try and answer them as much as I can. Yeah, we will. I think that's everything. Obviously, anything else that's not in this video will be in the blog post, but I think I've put everything here for you because it's much easier to get some visuals of things and understand them better. I hope this has helped, and we'll see you soon.